It's hot over here. Woo.
Feels hot to me.
Because you a snack. How do you spell snack in that context? Is it regular snack? Oh, you feeling it?
Oh, toilet paper.
Ooh. I feel like it's just a C.
It's S-N-A-C.
You need to look that up on Urban Dictionary.
No, because then that denotes that we are not hip and we have to look up something to be hip. I refuse.
Well, you don't know which one it is.
It's the way I said it.
What?
S-N-A-C.
That would not fly at spelling bee. Snack. S-N-A-C. Snack.
Ding.
Ding. Because you wrong.
Oh, that's right. The bell is
because you wrong. See?
Oh. Mississippi.
I got too many S's. I thought there were 3 S's in there somewhere. I was wrong.
They didn't sing it.
Yeah, M-I, cricket letter, I, cricket letter,
Yeah,
cricket
see,
letter, I,
can't...
humpback, I, Mississippi. Ding. Look. Your Opinion Stinks opens the conversation on a hot button business topic.
And flips it on its head.
Hosted by a wellness coach
And a business coach.
We break down conventional business
while building entrepreneurs up for success. Who will you agree with?
Welcome
to someone who doesn't remember what to say.
Look, I was going to say, welcome to So You Think You Can Dance.
See, TV. Told you.
Welcome to Your Opinion Stinks. I'm Tanisha.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm totally sure.
All right, and I'm Tim. I'm positive I'm Tim. Thank you guys, as always, for watching and listening. You're on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that alert button so that way you know you get all the goodness. And you feed the notification fairy, which we haven't talked about in a couple of times. And if you're on iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, subscribe there. Make sure you have it go directly to your device.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up?
I'll tell you what's up, Tim. PR stunts are what's up. Y'all know what PR stunts are? Public relations stunts, marketing stunts.
It's not stunting.
Oh, I'm not. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how that works at all. So, yes, PR stunts, not stunting, PR stunts. Where, for example, the big Jeff Goldblum statue to advertise, remember? You didn't hear about that?
What?
When Jurassic Park, one of them Jurassic Park movies came out, they did a huge statue of Jeff Goldblum on his side with that famous picture with his
chest haired out?
Yeah. It was a big statue. Yes, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Well, that PR stunt was not effective because Tim loves Jurassic Park and he didn't know about that.
Well, see, I would imagine that was probably for Jurassic Park 2.
It was. I think it was, yes.
That was the one that I didn't like so much, so I probably wouldn't have paid attention to anything.
Yeah, but before you saw it,
I knew that Jeff Goldblum was going to be like the main person, and
yeah.
I was already disenchanted.
Oh, but Jeff Goldblum is so wonderful.
But he's not. Okay,
Your
that's another.
Stinks on that.
Oh no!
Jeff Goldblum's amazing.
Please, anyone watching or listening, please let this one know.
What?
JP1 is the best.
They did the what?
JP1 is the best.
JP1.
Jurassic Park, the first one.
Well, I'm not excited about Jurassic Park 2. I'm excited about Jeff Goldblum.
He was in the first one, and he was good for who he was, and then they made him the main character in the second.
All right, I'm not even sure I saw the second one, but it doesn't stop Jeff Goldblum from being amazing. I can see an actor I love in a terrible movie and still love the actor.
Okay, please continue. Okay, so that stunt didn't work.
Well, it didn't work for you. I think it worked very well.
You just said it didn't.
A lot of people, I take that back.
So whose opinion stinks now?
I think
that opinion was not backed by facts.
No. Well, this
because the fact was It stunk. Then she agreed, and then she took it back. I just want to document it. There you go.
That I agreed Jurassic Park 2 stunk?
That promotion did
That
not
the
work
promotion,
well.
well, yeah, I was making more of a joke. It wasn't, I
Oh,
wasn't
see?
willing to follow my sword for it.
And this is the part where I get to say, opinions are not facts. Do your research.
And
Listen to Tim.
oh no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is.
We need to modify that sign off. But please continue. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Well, I thought it would be interesting to talk about stunts, PR stunts,
Yep.
as they apply to small businesses.
Yeah.
Because, if you're a big production company, it's putting out Jurassic Park 2, or you're Coca-Cola, or you can afford to have a massive, expensive PR campaign that includes some sort of stunt.
Absolutely.
And if it fails, so be it.
Yeah, it was just an experiment.
Right. But small businesses, perhaps not so much.
Some. Yeah.
Some.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be interesting to talk about. And I was going to say something else, but I lost it. The notification fairy ate it. Oh, yes. I picked it up. Okay, so I was going to mention how typically the goal of a PR campaign is brand awareness, perhaps,
Yes, definitely brand awareness.
or more social media attention,
Buzz.
getting that buzz going, or some sort of free press, whether that's like online blogs or newspapers, print newspapers, or television news, like anything that's getting people's eyeballs and ears on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving your new campaign or your company or your services, products, some hype.
Yep.
So my suspicion is that Timothy is going to be largely in support of such a practice for small business, perhaps with caveats, whereas I have some reservations that maybe by the end of the episode I'll feel better about. We'll see what Tim has to say.
All right.
Go for it.
All right.
Yes.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for coughing on the microphone. I try not to do it.
Thank you.
So, I feel yesy and no-y
Yesy and no-y.
on the whole thing of PR stunts.
All right.
And
For small business specifically.
Absolutely for
Yes.
small business.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, big businesses, y'all can do whatever you
Do
want
what you want.
because
Do
y'all
what you
can.
want.
You got such strong brands you can absorb if you take a hit. Mostly.
But
Depends
on what it is.
But for the small business owner, the singles, the doubles, the quads, any mixture thereof, there's a need to finesse when it comes to doing PR stunts. I'll throw a story and then I'll give context to why I say what I say. One of my great guests on the Swick Kick show was Jeannie. And I'm blanking on Jeannie's last name because I just know Jeannie TV. And one of the things she did to get started, which if I was who I am today, there's no way I could pull this off with the same type of attention. She got down to her skivvies and stood in the middle of Times Square with a whole bunch of writing on her, spreading the message of love. Blindfolded, arms out. Anyone can come up and write any message on her, and anyone can give her a hug. So I bring this up because if I
would not do that.
were to be blindfolded, wearing nothing but my skivvies in
You'd
the
be-
middle of Times Square,
You'd be arrested immediately.
I would see a cop. And I'm blindfolded and I could see them still through the blindfold. Here's the point that I'm making. I say yes and no because there's certain types of stunts that are done, especially on the internet, that depending on your gender, might be received a bit better. Now, it might seem like there's a bit of gender bias in what I'm saying, but really take a look at it. So there's a level of, and please excuse the way I'm going to phrase it. It's not a bad thing. It's just going to sound bad. There's a level of stupidity that's allowed for certain behaviors. Like a boy can do something
For boys.
that seems like he's just being a boy. That if a girl did it, it would be frowned upon.
I think I see what
So now as you're getting older,
you're saying.
those kind of flip where there would be more sensible acts for a female than there would be for a male. I'm sorry, the other way around. For a male than a female. And so there's more, I guess, pity or no, compassion. Compassion is the right word. There's more compassion for a female doing a stunt than there is for a male doing a stunt. Depends on what the stunt is.
It depends on what the stunt is. I can agree that there are gender differences in how certain stunts would be perceived. I can get with you on that.
That's my first point. There's a much
The
bigger
rest of
thing.
it, I don't.
There's social aspects to
Okay.
it. I may not be relaying it out the best way, but
Okay.
hopefully you can see between the words what I'm
between
saying.
the lines. Okay.
But the other aspect of it is I'm actually kind of for it, depending on what it is, because doing stunts does bring about attention and awareness. Just taking Gigi for example, because her stunt was more mission based, it was more passion based. It was definitely more accepted. Her message of trying to bring about awareness to the power of love, universal love, and that being a core message in her business made it, highly acceptable because there's tons of people who subscribe to that ideal,
Sure.
but would never get to that extreme of displaying it so ferociously.
Ferociously.
Ferociously, thank you. And in that, her having it recorded, of course, because, you got to have the social proof that it actually happened.
Yeah.
She's able to replay that moment and that emotion and that feeling multiple times over in her marketing. When people come up and they love her and they hug her and write all these nice messages on her and stuff, it doesn't look like there's a woman that's in the middle of the street being written on. It looks like someone who's passionately spreading their message. So I feel that in certain contexts, a stunt is a really great way for a kickoff. It's not sustainable. It's not something that I feel you can keep doing like once a week you're doing a stunt. Like I'm going to go to every major city and strip down to my skivs and spread my arms out and randomly just hug everything that comes in sight. It depends on what you're trying to do to invoke the emotion and to also spread awareness about something. To me, it's like a good way to kind of phrase it. There's certain things that you do in your business to market throughout the year, but then at the year you have your yearly event. That's kind of like what a stunt feels like to me. It feels like something that you could do every once in a while, but not all the time.
So can I interject with a concern?
Well,
or do you have more that you want to say first?
Well, your concern probably lands within YouTube.
No.
Okay, well, please go ahead. Because just to give context to everybody, YouTube not really caring for certain stunts.
Yeah, we should say that. Yes,
and really taking a stance on the danger that some people put themselves in order to gain attention.
That's such a good point. Before you post a stunt video on YouTube, there have been a lot of recent revisions to their terms of
Tons.
service around
Tons.
things like this.
Yeah.
So please consult them very carefully, because I mean they are not about the stunts anymore.
And just kind of giving everyone some context, even if what you're doing is not amicable, even if it's coming from a good place, you know the word that I'm trying to use there.
I think so.
YouTube or any other place is going to be very, very cautious about what you do, especially now, because it's not enough to just say, "Hey, I'm doing the ice bucket challenge for ALS." Those ALS. Yeah. Like that time is come and gone.
Like I imagine there's, if you're doing the type of stunt that's really benign and doesn't come off as a prank or something dangerous, if you're just doing something that's like, oh wow, that's so crazy, and I can't believe she did, like having some celebrity on, and it's for this cause, and and it relates to your product or service, and the celebrity shaves their head. I can't imagine YouTube having an issue with that. That's not a dangerous.
It's really hard to
Don't
say
quote
nowadays.
me on that, but that doesn't seem like
it's
if you're framing it in the right way, I think it would be fine. It wouldn't be perceived as something YouTube wouldn't want to be associated with.
Yeah, just be mindful of that, because even if you're coming from a good place, like we said before, YouTube has taken a stance that they really want to keep their community safe, as safe as possible. Yeah. And just because you can record it doesn't mean that it's going to get played.
Be cautious.
Yeah.
So here's my concern.
Go for it.
I suspect the average small operation entrepreneur, small business, the solopreneur, or what you mentioned, 2, 3, 4, would have a need for this kind of thing. Okay. My question is, what's the end result? Because
that's a good question.
Unless you have a way to measure the impact of it, why are you doing it? Like if it's something that you are creating a campaign around, or just creating a post on YouTube, for example, and you put out that video and you get 1,000 more subscribers after that before your next post, that's a measurable thing.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing something out in the world and you don't know,
you don't have a mechanism to measure.
You don't have a mechanism. I mean, at least if your end result is someone going to a squeeze page and signing up, at least have a question during the registration asking them, did you see XYZ thing we did? And track whether people signing up, so that when the next 1,000 who signed up, only 50 of them saw the thing, or oh my goodness, 900 of them saw the thing.
I think it's a twofold situation, and you brought up something that was really important. I'm glad you did.
Measurement.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when you say what's the point, the first thing that came to mind for me was, with anything that deals with PR, is always going to be attention. The attention is the point, whether you measure the attention or not. Yeah. Attention is the point, because if you do something that gets covered on media, then you've instantly increased your reach exponentially. Yeah, that's the first thing, whether you mention or whether you measure it or not. Yeah. The second thing is you bring about awareness to either your product, your service, or your cause. Yeah. Whether you measure it or not. Yeah. The other aspect of it is you might, cause a movement, which might turn into measurement, whether you measured it or not. So there isn't a wasted effort, in my opinion, good, bad, or indifferent, of doing a stunt. But there is definitely a better avenue when you can actually put some type of metric behind it. Yeah. Where it's subscriptions, whether it's views, whether it's likes, whether it's shares, whether it's subs, whatever, whether it's sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you can see the effectiveness of what you do.
Right.
And anyone that does any type of PR, that's one of the major things that you want to do is you want to have a measurable to any type of piece of content. So you know if this worked or not.
Yeah.
Should we revisit it at a later time? Is it something that people didn't react to in a way that we wanted? That's all fine and dandy, but I'm not going to say if you're just doing a stunt, I'm not going to say that is an absolute, but it's definitely something that helps. The absolute is the attention.
So I think measurement is particularly important.
Yeah.
For the small business, because the small business is likely, not all of them, small business is likely to have limited resources.
Okay.
So limited money, limited staffing, limited time, limited whatever.
Time, money, energy. Yeah.
Time, money, energy. Perfect. So yes, it better be measurable because if you've budgeted for this thing and you've expended, and maybe it's your own time, money, energy, maybe it's, maybe you've partnered, whatever, you better know it was worth it, because that, that matters. That bottom line matters. If you spent $1,000 to do it, but only brought in 200,
yes,
maybe that wasn't the best thing for you.
But the other side of the coin is, if you're taking it as a loss leader, then that doesn't really matter.
Well, then that goes back to the end goal. If your end goal is not the money, but it's the subscription to your email list or whatever, then fine.
Or again, it can just go back to the core of just being attention. I'll give you a for instance.
Yeah.
The local restaurant that is doing the grand opening. Everything that you have is absolutely starting from zero, because it's not like you have anything to base anything off of. So everything you have coming in is a bonus. Now, you could either do the regular thing, hey, we're doing a grand opening, put out the sign and see who walks in.
Yeah.
You could do the secondary thing, hey, grand opening, you put out a sign and you go out and you do door to door, putting out your menu and adding coupons on it.
Yeah. Or
you go and you make an event and you get the news media there and you get acts to be there. A perfect example.
Or you try to break a world record, like one of the suggestions is. And
something like that. I'll give you a perfect example of a good business that's doing extremely well, at least in my eyes. And it's in the convention space, which is a really hard space to really stand out. So there's a local convention in the DC metro area called BlurredCon. It's pretty young. What they've been doing this year, what I've been noticing as someone in the media, is that they have been frequenting partner cons that are similar in theme and nature to the content that they produce, or I should say exhibit. And what they've been doing to stand out is not only do they hire a DJ, but I believe one of the founders does DJing as well. And I don't mean like they're out there like doing like crazy tricks or something. Right. They're blasting music.
Yeah.
And they're getting people that are a part of the experience to dress up and dance in front of their booths and attract a whole bunch of people just out of curiosity. And once they got their attention, then they hand them the material. And I'm almost more than certain it's increasing their sales and their attendance.
Does that count as a stunt, though?
Well, considering no one else is doing it in there, it is a stunt. Because they're taking a risk at possibly alienating a lot of people that don't like noise.
Okay.
They're also taking a risk of people that might not like people in front of them as they're trying to walk to go get their trinkets.
Yeah.
Dancing in front of them and blocking the aisles.
Sure. Okay.
So it might not be an outrageous stunt. It's a stunt nonetheless.
Okay.
And so my point is, whether they put a measurable in it or not, they're building tons of awareness doing this.
Yeah,
No one else is doing it.
I remain conflicted about awareness because it's not measurable.
It's not
in most
measurable
cases.
at all.
And
No.
unless you're a big brand,
Well,
you got to
know
be
what?
real clear
I take
on
it-
why you need awareness rather than just putting your company in front of the people with the right messaging who are making the buying decisions.
I wanted to
Because you
say
can do all the awareness you want to people who aren't going to buy from you at all anyway.
that's true, but you can also bring about fandom. I mean, like the whole thing of squeakers. I think it's Malcolm Jenkins. I believe that's his name. The book is either The Tipping Point or Outliers.
This sounds familiar.
The whole thing of squeakers is that they get to push your messaging for you, whether you pay them or not. They get to increase your awareness, whether you pay them or not, because they are excited about what you're doing.
Right.
And they subscribe to it and join your tribe and promote you
Right.
just because they have an affinity to you.
Sure. And
That's
yes,
what I'm
and
leaning
that's,
into.
That is valuable.
You can't measure
you're
that.
Right. That's because, you never know who someone knows and
Yep.
expanding your network and all of that.
Things
and
that we've
singing
talked
your
about on this show.
praises. Yes. I agree with all that. I hope
I subscribe to what you're saying too, that measurables are
that it's-
extremely important.
I hope that it's just done
But
with
it's not the only
intention. If that's your whole marketing strategy, don't do
It's
that.
not effective for the long run.
I think
No.
I guess I'm comfortable with that.
And that's why I say you have your products and service you sell throughout the year,
Yeah.
and then you have your Super
And
Bowl.
then you have this that Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
But don't pay $3 million.
So does that address some things for you?
I feel I'm warming. I'm warming.
Okay. And like I said, it's not an end all be all, but it definitely does have a place.
Here's my other main concern.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my feeling. This is not based on any facts or statistics. This is a gut feeling. My feeling is there is artistry to doing a good stunt. And
Sometimes it's luck.
Sometimes it's luck. But
you know what I say
I'm
about luck.
speaking of what?
When opportunity meets preparation.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm more focused on is how easily it can go wrong. Because you can think in your brain or in your little meeting with your team that this is the bee's knees.
Yeah.
And then you go out and do it. And especially in this culture of
Everything's sensitive now.
being sensitive and
And media spreads incredibly fast now.
Oh, and with outrage culture,
Outrage culture.
with all of that, if you do the wrong thing or the right thing at the wrong time, or the wrong person gets offended, then you've hurt yourself and the damage may be irreparable.
Absolutely. I mean, there's tons of people who will try something like really, really out there and ultimately blackball themselves.
Yeah.
That's the other side of the coin. And I guess that's with brand strength and brand identity. That's the reason why a major company can do something outrageous.
Right.
And a small company might not have as much. It's a difference between who did something kind of bad, but was able to bounce back quickly. I hate to keep using this as an example, but it's the truth. Tony Robbins did something a while ago. I think he said something that people really did not like.
That wasn't a stunt, though.
No, I'm just using it as an example of his brand.
Hurting your brand.
Yeah, he said something that was harmful.
Yeah.
And it was passed over very quickly because his brand was able to sustain the hit
fairly quickly.
And no one's talking about it now.
He apologized. So
yeah, he
helps.
did but someone much smaller would have a lot more work to go through to hope to recover.
Because then that might be what you're known for.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why I say with the whole thing of doing a stunt, it is a risk reward type thing. But if done effectively, it puts you in like leaps and bounds above everybody else. Then if it does go south, unfortunately, you got to hope that your calculated risk is something that you can withstand.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just about how risk averse you are in your business.
Also about what you do.
Yeah. But I hope anyone considering doing it will do your research.
And enjoy the stunt.
And have fun in the stunt. Stunts are not profits automatically. Do your research and have fun in the stunt. So I think this is probably a good time to bring up the resources that we're linking to.
Are you reading anything?
No, not today.
Oh.
Why? What were you gonna do?
No, I was gonna ask you about your monocle.
Yeah, I kind of let go of the monocle. I put it away because now I'm gonna get the opera glasses.
They're in the mail.
Oh, you got some?
Yeah, it should be here pretty soon.
Oh,
I was hoping it would have been here.
Are they the doubles?
It's still kind with a little handle.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so you'll be doing it up.
Okay. Oh, by next week,
Hopefully.
if I do a definition, I might have opera glasses.
Yep.
Makes no sense, but it's so fun. And what if someone's just listening to this? Why? Why does she want? Just listen to the past episodes. There's no good reason. Just
none at all.
Just me feeling extra scholarly. That's it. When I read the definition.
Scholarly. That's a past life. Inside joke.
All right. So go check out the show notes on youropinionstinks.com or in the description area of YouTube.
We are working on the podcast directories to get it the way we want. So hopefully we'll get that figured out pretty soon.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. So here are the articles that we're linking to there if you want to know more about the stunting. No, PR stunts. 14 brand PR stunts that successfully created a splash. I think this is the one I wanted to talk more about. Yeah, because I have an axe to grind. I have an axe to grind with the brand.
Okay.
That I wanted to talk about. Might be fun.
Okay.
10 advertising and PR stunt ideas to get your brand noticed.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting. A very important point from that one I want to point out. Don't just rip off other stunts already done and in the media. It's not as shareable if it's been done before, and it also makes you look tacky. So don't just redo someone else's stunt.
That falls in line to what YouTube tried to stop. A whole bunch of copycat type stuff. So yeah,
and they didn't like the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 5 big marketing stunts that worked and what we can learn from them.
I'll be interested to see actually all of those things. So I will be going into the show notes and take a
look.
Oh,
no. Oh, this is the one. This is the one where I had
an axe to grind.
An axe to grind.
Okay.
Okay, so even this article acknowledges that while a misstep could wreck your brand's reputation, a success could catapult your business into viral success. So, and the first one they highlight is IHOP. So remember when IHOP so they sent out this tweet and they said, for 60 pancaking years, we've been IHOP. Now we're flipping our name to IHOB.
Yeah.
Find out what it could be on 6/11/18. #IHOB. And so everybody lost their minds. Like, what's the B? Is it brunch? Is it breakfast? Is it bratwurst? What is it?
It's broccolini.
Broccolini. International House of Broccolini.
And it was bitter, stringy, and didn't taste good with butter. Did not like it.
Yeah. If you don't like
International
broccoli,
House of Broccolini was just bad.
you're not gonna like broccolini. So they're saying that this was a successful campaign because now I want to praise this being highlighted for one thing that we talked about earlier, and that was because one of the lessons they're saying you can learn from it is to do your research, and we love that. Mm-hmm. Because before they did this, they realized that social media conversations about pancakes had declined, while the popularity of burgers, which is what it turned out to be, was increasing. So that was a very strategic decision.
They had data.
They had data
to move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now
Data.
I still think it's data. Okay.
Star Trek got it wrong too. It wasn't Mr. Data. It shouldn't have been.
We can fight about that on another episode.
Mr. Data.
So I don't know if this is how IHOP thought about their level of success with this campaign, but at least this article did, saying that seeing the word of mouth rise from 19 to 30%. Let's see. Wait. IHOP not only got people associating burgers with their name, seeing word of mouth rise from 19 to 30%, but saw their social media popularity skyrocket. Now.
Okay, can I say something real quick?
Okay.
Okay, so I don't want you guys flaming me because something just happened in my head, and I just want to express it really quickly. Okay. So I looked at the root word in my head of data and saw date. So it's data.
So that's why you say it that way?
No.
I don't understand.
No, I've been saying data, and I hear data in IT.
Okay.
Data processing.
Okay.
But I also hear data processing.
Mm-hmm.
And data's root word is date.
Mm-hmm.
And date is D-A-T-E.
Yeah.
So the D-A-T is day.
You're saying this because your conviction about how it's pronounced is wavering?
I'm conceding it to be data.
Oh.
So please talk about your data.
So exciting. What a victory for me. Which one was that? Oh, he said it wasn't. Ding. So in this article they've said that their social media popularity skyrocketed, and so that is an indicator of success. I have 2 complaints.
Okay.
One is completely unrelated, so I'll save that as the last one because it's the fun one.
Okay.
The first one is popularity. There were a lot of people flaming IHOP for making it burgers.
Me included. Let me tell you. I went to
burgers.
I went to IHOP when they had the day when they switched over. It was supposedly switched over to IHOP and tried their burger, and I immediately thought this was a waste of my time.
Right.
I went on social media and quickly put up, was this really worth it? And the response was amazing about how people did not care about it, and it even made it worse.
Right. And he's in that line of popularity, but he was complaining about it.
I felt, now this is something you can't really measure unless people made a hashtag and measured it, but I felt like I was being lied to and betrayed.
Oh, so strong.
One, they're supposed to have changed everything to IHOP. I kept waiting for someone to do construction outside of our IHOP to change the sign. It was so confusing. Never happened. Second thing, when I went inside and I was talking to people about this, and they went with the promotion, they were wearing shirts.
Yeah, that said IHOP.
Yeah. And I was like, well, what's happening with the rest? And they were like, they don't know.
Everyone was confused.
Come on. even they were misled. And what happens? Oh, we just wanted to let you know that we were making burgers.
Yeah, and I wonder, was it that? Or were they really thinking about rebranding themselves as IHOP?
It didn't work out. That's what I think.
Was it just a joke? Because it seems like it was just a joke. Was it
just
a joke?
They had intentions of trying to rebrand and turn the company into something new. And I think they even went as far as to change their... Now, don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
Please check it to make sure for yourselves.
Okay.
I think they might have even changed their ticker to match.
To match for that day or week or something?
I think they were moving their ticker to be IHOP, and it was going to be IHOP.
And then they abandoned that.
I think either it happened and they put it back, or it didn't go through. I can't remember exactly, so please do not quote me on it.
Yeah, right. We're not sure.
But yes, they
Wow.
went full Monty on IHOP.
Yeah. So I question how successful, and I wonder today how their burger sales are doing.
I anytime I've walked into one, I haven't seen anybody with a burger.
And they're still on them pancakes.
I see eggs. I see eggs and pancakes.
Eggs and pancakes.
There's a whole bunch of sugar. I don't see not near one. Near one hot hamburger. I don't see it. As a matter of fact, when they did their menu and they were really pushing it, the menu had burgers as the cover items and the ones that were promoting the most.
Yes.
I look at their menus now.
And it's not that way anymore.
It's back to the way it was.
And
even worse. They really push the breakfast stuff now.
Yeah. And this article is from August 9th, 2018. So that's just June, July, like 2 months.
It's not that far off.
So I wonder if they'd still say it was a success today.
Again,
I don't know.
Awareness.
So here's point number 2. It's a fun one. I think we can end on this unless you had something else.
All right, well, let's see.
Point number 2, completely unrelated, except for being about IHOP.
I think I know where this is going.
Tim knows what I'm about to say. Country griddle cakes.
I saw the setup. I saw it.
Yo, y'all had them country griddle cakes. They've been gone for what? 6 years?
Forever.
Too long.
We were I think 3 homes ago.
It was a long time ago. Look, they had this thing called, I bet so many of you are like, country griddle cakes.
Country griddle cakes, yeah.
What were those? Those were on the menu. I never saw those because they never talked about them. You'd always just skim over them. It's always about the Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity. And they back out all the commercials.
Harvest grain.
The harvest grain, bananas and crap. Come on. They had this little blurb about country griddle cakes. And one day we're like, hey, let's try them. They have cream of wheat in them. That sounds interesting. Never even read that part of the menu before. Let's try it. They were amazing.
Now, preface, actually, no.
After years of going to IHOP, never had those before.
You were trying them out. I've had them before.
Oh, I was trying them.
Yes.
Oh, I was trying them out.
Yeah.
I had never had them. I was in at least my 20s.
Yeah.
Never had them. They were delicious. We were on those country griddle cakes. I think we had about 2 years.
We had a good run.
Before we went in, high stepping, thinking we're about to get some carry out. Some country griddle cakes. And the looks of devastation on our faces. Because I saw them looking back at us. And they're like, oh, no. Like, are you guys okay? I can go and see if we have like some. I think they went in the back to double check. They had some left, yeah. Because we were so sad.
I will say this to that. Now, as we're getting older and becoming more wiser, we understand that things change, that things have their time and their season. But IHOP, you made a bad choice.
That was a bad choice. If they would have advertised those pancakes, do a stunt around the pancakes, PR stunt. Get a celebrity to be like in a horse and buggy.
They could hire the Old
country
Spice
griddle cakes.
Dude, the dude who used to do Old Spice commercials. They could get him to come back and do pancake commercials for them. Ridiculousness. You
So
bring us burgers we didn't ask for.
Burgers we didn't ask for.
When your name says International House of Pancakes.
Which was already a stretch because they had the pancakes and they had crepes and they had French toast.
French toast is not a pancake. A waffle is not a pancake. An omelet is not a pancake. You know what? IHOP, you lost your way.
They've lost it.
Once you had to shorten your name because you felt that people were just didn't want to say International House of Pancakes, you lost your way. And then you tried to sell us burgers.
Forget these burgers. Bring back the country griddle cakes. Can I get a campaign going or something?
Yo, one other thing with that. When we discovered that, and see this. Okay, I want everyone to pay attention to the small business aspect of this because there definitely is business lessons in this.
Okay.
So when we discovered that country griddle cakes were no longer offered, even though it was still on the menu at the time, but they phased them out. Yeah. That was an opportunity for their staff to tell their upper management, and their upper management to tell their upper management, and so on and so forth up the chain. If there was a formula reason that they needed to stop it, maybe they could have reinvented it and still kept some of it, or they could have figured something out. But the customer will tell you what they will spend their money on each and every time.
Preach.
So you got to listen to them.
We were
so ready to spend our money on these pancakes that no longer existed. There were people when we were walking out that felt the same exact way as us and felt so devastated that this was. Yeah, you don't remember? You must have blanked it out.
I blanked it.
Man, there was. I remember.
So traumatized.
I remember one time we went in, and there was a table adjacent to us, and they tried to order it, and they were denied, and they looked bad. And I think I said something to the effect of them. You're like, us too. And then there was other people commiserating with us as well. It was just like at least like 4 or 5 tables of people who were like, yeah, I remember da-da-da-da-da. That was a focus group.
And you know what? I think if we were then the people we are now,
we would have went on Twitter and flamed.
We would have. Well, we might have started that campaign. Maybe. And that might have been the moment to do it. 'Cause the outrage. Who's with us on the country griddle cakes?
Yep. Instead of Team Edward and Team what's the other one?
Jacob.
Yeah.
You talking about Twilight?
It would have been Team Country Griddle Cakes.
Or Team Crepe.
No, we're not supporting the crepe.
Well, I thought there would be an or.
Oh wait, Country Griddle Cake. So it'll be
CGC.
Team CGC.
That's kind of hard to say.
Well, in any way,
we would have thought about it. Maybe we could still do it. Maybe it could be like the McRib.
No,
and come back sometime.
No, that's a PR stunt that even John Oliver complains about the McRib. Why do you keep bringing it back? Just leave it on the menu. Country Griddle Cakes.
Country Griddle Cakes. Oh, I think my rant about every once in a while I think about those pancakes and get upset all over again.
Now this is recorded in the echoes of time.
So now it's on the internet. Maybe I've gotten it partially out my system. Yeah,
just cut this section and just send it to them. We should contact some of my media people and see if they'll play it. DC couple outraged
over country griddle cake, over long gone IHOP offering. Still outraged. DC couple still outraged over long gone IHOP offering.
The opening line. I was appalled. Says native DC resident. One day I woke up and they were gone. It's an abomination.
Oh, all right.
All right.
I feel a little better.
Do you feel therapeutic?
That was cathartic. Is that the
catharticism? Yeah, that's it.
I think
you feel like a demon has been exercised a little bit.
Yeah, the fact that this is my stand I'm taking a stand.
So I'm gonna help you out a little bit so you can breathe. So should I go ahead and close it out?
I think so.
All right.
I'm drained.
All right. So YouTube, see, we're still kind of upset about it. YouTube, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the alert button so that way you know whenever we release a new episode. And if you're on iTunes or anywhere you listen to podcasts, don't forget you can subscribe there and have it go directly to your device so that way you can hear all the awesomeness that is Your Opinion Stinks. I am Tim.
And I'm Tanisha. And remember, opinions are not facts. Do your research and bring back country griddle cakes.
Bring them back.
Boom.